study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The empty seat. Who is actually just that, an empty chair in your office because you couldn't find someone to fill it. So it just sat there costing you money with all its fancy ergonomic features. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can make it easy to fill that seat with the right candidate. With nearly 60% of businesses finding someone to interview in the first week alone. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
As long as they're willing to follow the protocol that the company has set forth and not try to go rogue, that they can be successful. There will be obstacles, but as long as they persevere, they will come out a winner. I think so far the experience has been amazing. I look forward to the day when I can step out of working the 40-hour work week and spend more time with my family. And if that is the autonomy that other people are looking for, this is a really good path forward.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today, we have another installment of, again, clearly my favorite segments that we do, In Their Words, where we are going to talk to some of our former clients that have gone through this journey who are now have become franchise owners. And we are going to hear in, wait for it, their words, what this entire experience was, obviously get some background on them, hear about their journey, which franchise ultimately they landed on, and how that has gone so far. This couple has been absolutely just a joy to work with over the years. We had a couple bumps along the way, and be able to just kind of hear how they handled that and move forward. Excited to be able to bring that to you guys today, to be able to hear it. That is next, right after we do a quick reminder of who we are at Fran Coach. Fran Coach is the premier franchise consulting firm. Our number one goal is to properly educate you on franchise ownership to determine if you should own one. And if so, we're going to help you find your absolute best fit. Our educational approach ensures we focus on the client's best interest. We are not here to sell you a franchise. In fact, we don't sell anything. Finding the best franchise owned is an incredibly personalized and individualized process that can only work with a team of experts focused on what is truly most important. That's you. Fran Coach, our services are always 100% free to use, so reach out to our team. Click the QR code or find us at francoach.net. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, folks, we are back on the Franchising 101 podcast, and joining me from two different parts of lovely Louisville, Kentucky, we have Jon and Angela Himmler. Jon and Angela, thank you guys for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course,
Tim.
thanks for having us.
Always fun with two people in two separate places, because then we don't know who's going to talk first. And Jon, we know how this is going to work out, so we'll go with this. But thank you guys so much. It was I'm really thrilled to have you guys on today. It was such a joy getting to know you and help you guys through this journey. And we had some it was like a little roller coaster, right? Some ups and downs. We screamed, and with joy, we cried some in there, I think, and it was kind of all of the things, and want to get into what that is like. But if you guys each kind of take a moment, Angela, we'll kick off with this, but give us a little of your background before we got into this whole franchising thing.
Yeah, so I am in the healthcare field. I have been in healthcare for the past 20 years. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm also in the military, and I'm a commander of a medical unit there. So my passion has always been to help others. I decided, though, that I did want a little more free time and autonomy. And so I started looking into franchising and started reading books. And actually, Tim, one of the books that I read was your book. And I was like, I think we can do this. So that's how we got started on this road.
Well, thanks for the wonderful promotion there of the book. Angela, by chance, do you remember the name of the book?
Oh, gosh. You know what?
Skips my memory.
I really do wish that I could recall. I listened to a lot of books at that point.
Oh
so they were just, I'm sorry.
Well, fortunately for you, I do actually remember. It's called Becoming a Franchise Owner, which you guys have now done. So,
yes.
Always thanks for being one of the 4 people to have purchased the book. I appreciate that. So, and thank you. Most importantly, thank you for your service over the years. Jon, give us a little Jon scoop.
All right. Well, my story is I have owned small businesses for the past 17 years now. I got a business degree, and within the following couple months, I opened my first small business, which I ran for about 12 years and ended up selling in 2022. And since then, opened a couple other small businesses, a couple of them we still operate, including a real estate investing company, aircraft detailing business as well, and looking to add something that long-term is a bit more passive and in a completely different field from where I've worked before. So I'm excited that we hooked up with you and you introduced us to a number of different concepts, and we landed on one that checks all the boxes for the two of us.
Yeah. It and was quite the journey getting there, even at the beginning. So you guys have both built great careers for yourself separately. What were some of those conversations at the beginning of like, hey, honey, can we do this together? What do you think about having a franchise? What was there's no way you're the only couple out there that's like, can we do this together? What were some of those initial conversations like?
Yeah, so I first presented it to Jon after talking to one of my buddies who is retired from the military, and he had started a franchise, and he was like, best thing I've ever done. So that's when I started reading the books, and I was like, I think that we can do this. I truly think that we can work together. We're going to have to define some roles. We both knew right away we wanted to go into an area where we would be able to help other people. Something either restorative, health and wellness. So we knew we were going to go down that path. We also talked about that I would be the people person, going out, doing events. Jon would be the analyst behind the scenes. And we're like, that works perfectly for our personalities, because that is how we live our day-to-day life. He's more analytical and I'm more like, hey, well, let's just go do this thing.
Gotcha. And Jon, you had obviously ran your own businesses. And so then now when you guys are thinking about a business together and then a franchise versus maybe just starting something else from scratch, what were some of your thoughts with that?
My dad was a business owner, and one of the things that he told me was to never have a partner. And so I went into the owning businesses with that in mind. Now, I think a spousal partner, that might qualify a little differently even to him. But after owning businesses for a number of years, they did get a little bit lonely as the sole proprietor and wearing every hat. And at numerous times I did kind of wish like I had someone else to bounce ideas off, to show up when I did not, when I was under the weather or anything like that. So I did keep that advice from my father in mind, but I also did grow to kind of wish I had a partner. And how that kind of translates to franchising is that I see that relationship between franchisor and franchisee as a partnership as well. It's a little bit different. I did not want to reinvent the wheel. I wanted to find something that we could bring up to speed a little bit quicker than just starting another business. And I frankly did not have any great business ideas here in these past few years. So when Angela came to me with the franchising idea, I was very interested, and especially with what she originally brought to me, which did not end up working out, but it was something that I was interested in my personal life. Yeah. So she got my ear real quickly. She chose well. And that kind of got the whole ball rolling.
And you're smart enough from your marital partnership to just understand when you just smile and nod and say, yes, dear, we can totally do this. And then we kind of get into this process and we look at some franchises. You guys kind of locked in on one, but ultimately it didn't work out, right? And so there's like all the kind of the emotions of that. But sometimes things don't work out for a reason because we're supposed to be going in another direction. Talk about that kind of period in this journey where, hey, we think it's this, we think it's this, we think it's this, and I realize at the last minute it's not. What were kind of those conversations or those emotions for you guys at that point?
Yeah, well, like you said, Tim, when it starts going in another direction and we just kept telling ourselves, okay, this is not working out for a reason. It was still very disappointing, but it also gave us a really good teaching opportunity for our children to be like, life doesn't always work out as planned. Sometimes there are disappointments, and we are going to keep trying. We will find the right fit, and we did. So I think it was just very important to teach them not to give up and teach ourselves that too. But it was, you said something to us on one of our very first calls. You said, you will know when you are in the airport, you will know whether or not this is the right fit for you, or if you're like, get away from me and never talk to me again. And so that first time we were in the airport and we're like, oh, we don't know. It's 50-50. Yeah, we could make it work, but there is some concerns. Ultimately, we didn't end up with that franchise. But on the next time around, we're in the airport and we were like, 100%, we need to let Tim know right now. He was correct. We know we're in the airport. Let's celebrate. And I think we did like virtual cocktails at that point, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure you guys messed with me a little bit because I always kind of joke, like send me a text like, you know, you have an emoji, thumbs up, thumbs down, or like middle finger. And I'm pretty sure there was a middle finger coming my way. And I'm like, oh, geez. But I knew you guys well enough at that point to know we had found the winner and it's time to cheers. So yes. When I always like we say that to people at the beginning, when I first said that, I mean, maybe even on our very first conversation, hey, when we're at the end, you won't make a decision. It will just be crystal clear. Did the two of you look at each other and go, this dude is nuts? Or what was kind of your thought when that was first said?
I was hoping that was going to be true. Because I can do some back and forth, some cognitive dissonance type thinking. I can feel hot on a topic one day and cold the next day. So I always held out hope that yes, when we do find something, it is going to be just like Tim described. We're going to know, I'm going to be in that yes, let's move forward boat, and not even looking to see if that other boat is trailing behind us for me to hop into if need be. So I was very hopeful that was the case, and it was.
Angela, you thought I was full of crap though, right?
I actually did. I was pretty apprehensive. I was like, how could you really know? I was skeptical, but it was correct. And it was surprising and in a good way, like, wow, we really do know. And this is 100%, we're moving forward. So.
See, you know why John and I buy into that? Because John and I are like overachievers in marriage. And so we knew at that point, like, yes, that's our person. And probably both of our spouses are like, I don't know, maybe. So just it's different for us. John, you're welcome. So give us the big reveal. We go through all of this stuff. You guys are now proud franchise owners of what franchise?
The Vital Stretch.
The Vital Stretch. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's see how we can do on our 30-second elevator pitch, because it's only been franchise owners for a couple months. Angela, what is the Vital Stretch?
Okay. The Vital Stretch is absolutely what everybody needs in their life, because it is an assisted stretch in a spa-like setting. And so that really spoke to me, to be able to walk into a place and feel relaxed and smell the aromatherapy and be in a dim light kind of setting where you already feel relaxed, and then you're laying on a table and having someone else stretch you. It has a very luxurious feel to it. And it also comes with these objective data that can help people really see the progress that they are making after each stretch. So we were sold, this is for sure a something that everybody needs. And I hope that everybody goes to get stretched so that they can see just what they're missing out on without it.
What if your 9-to-5 job didn't last forever? What if there was a better way to create professional success? Your way, without fear of layoffs or downsizing? What if I told you that it's all possible through franchise ownership? Franchise ownership gives you a proven playbook to execute, so you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. But with thousands of franchises out there, how do you know which is the best one for you? That's where FranCoach comes in. FranCoach will help build out your ideal business model based on your talents, skills, and core values. Then use our proprietary knowledge of the franchises to bring curated options based on what you want, and then guide you through the vetting process until we find your best match. Individualized, personalized, and 100% free to you. Ready to control your future? Scan the QR code or visit francoach.net and let FranCoach help create your better tomorrow.
When we first started talking about this one, John will kind of walk me through kind of your thoughts, because I don't think either of you had done or been a customer of this any place. And John, I know you went to one of the competitors at some point during this journey, but what were some of those first thoughts? Were like, wait, assisted stretching? What kind of went through your mind with that?
Well, we did need to visit one of the established competitors to see exactly what it had to offer. I do have a history of doing basement yoga and taking a few classes as I've grown older as a weekend warrior athlete. In my 40s, I started getting, creaks and bad joints and stuff. So I had to pick up some sort of mobility routine, and it really did speak to me. So once this was put in front of us, I thought, like, okay, well, I've got a pretty good knowledge base of stretching and of yoga. But would this be something, is there more that this can bring to the table than just yoga in the basement or doing your regular stretches? And after looking into it, seeing how this business can, like Angela mentioned, provide objective data, create a completely customized clinical plan for each individual, I fell in love with the process. And after going and getting the first couple assisted stretches from the competitors, I felt better walking out those doors of those studios than I did any spa or massage visit. And that right there proved to me like this is a valuable concept. This is a valuable business model. And this is something that I would like to do. I never could see myself as a yoga instructor or anything like that. So this is kind of adjacent and a little bit more clinical, which I really appreciate.
Now, when you guys went to visit the Vital Stretch for the Meet the Team Day, did you get stretched with their process?
We did. It was amazing. So we walked in. It has a very customized feel to it. You each get your own stretch practitioner, lay on this cushy bed. Like I said, the lighting is dim. The studio just has a crisp, clean feel to it, very luxurious, smells great. And then the practitioners are very educated on movements of the body. I felt like, oh, I don't have any aches and pains. Luckily, is this going to be beneficial for me? And truly, it was. It felt, like Jon said, more relaxing than walking out of a massage. And I know that sounds maybe a little strange for a stretch versus muscle massage, but the stretching, it relaxes those muscles afterwards and you just feel intensely relaxed. So I felt amazing for the rest of the day.
Jon, talk about the difference. So you had tried one of the kind of the quote competitor franchise brands, and then you're at Vital Stretch and you go through that experience. Talk about kind of how that was different for you.
Yeah, there's no Vital Stretch in Louisville or in the surrounding areas, so that wasn't an option. Otherwise, I would have checked that out before going up to headquarters and trying it there. But there's two other main competitors in Louisville, so I got to try both of them. And there are some similarities, of course, but there are some big differences. And like Angela has mentioned, the studio layout, the more upscale presentation of the studios was definitely enticing to me. But what really stood out to me was the system that they used, which uses some technology. It's a LiDAR camera-based system, which actually records you doing some specific movements and then can identify problematic areas and start you down the path to correct imbalances and such. So another competitor does have something simple, but it was more limited. So that was one big thing that stood out. And I already mentioned the feel of the studio was more luxurious. It seemed more secluded than the others, which you could just kind of look through the front big plate glass windows and see everybody doing their thing in there.
Right.
I like the semi-private arrangement of that Vital Stretch studio.
Yeah. One of them literally is just an open room and you're laying on a bench and you could be, it's like, there's zero privacy with one of them, not to name names, but, and I think that one of the things you guys had mentioned this, and I always think with the Vital Stretch is there's the feel of it. And just, if I don't care how old you are, if you've never done this, try it, because it really will, like, you will feel the difference. But the Vital Stretch does such a good job with the technology of, then here's also the facts of hey, I think I'm a little tight right here. Well, then turns out it has to do with something nowhere near right there that is causing it. And here's how we get there, and then be able to kind of see the progress from time after time that you come there. So it's got a good, like, I think even for you guys, like Jon, a little bit more analytical and Angela a little bit more on the feel side. It really tugs from both perspectives. So super cool with that. Talk a little bit about, for you guys, getting out there and meeting the team and the founders, the support. Like, was that something that was important to you, and kind of how did all that kind of play out once you got to meet everybody?
Yes, that was super important. We had decided, if we don't connect with the founders and the team, that this is not going to be the right decision. But we immediately, the moment we walked in, everybody was super inviting. We met the VSPs, the stretch practitioners first, that do the training at headquarters, and the knowledge base was just very impressive. And then they're also down to earth. They can put everything in layman's terms. So you don't have to be clinical to understand what's going on. And then the founders, Rob and Missy, walked in, and they were just immediately, you could feel a connection and a vibe, that they are genuine people, that they are very educated and also reasonable, down to earth, fun to be around. We're like, we love them. This is great. We already know we want to work with them. So that vibe was there.
Yes, and that was required, at least for me, was to make that connection. After attending one Meet the Team Day with another outfit, we learned what we didn't like and what we liked from those opportunities. And yes, Rob and Missy Goldring with Vital Stretch, they checked all those boxes of what we did want with founders and the basis for the whole headquarters of the business. It was a very welcoming experience. It wasn't too big. And I say big is a very general word, but our previous experience, there's many people there. It wasn't personalized. It was more of a small conference setting, as opposed to sitting across the table with the founders, going out to dinner with them, one-on-one, or is that couple and then us two. And that was just a stark difference for us that made us actually make this decision to go with them.
Yeah, nice. It's the ability, and you guys did such a great job during this process of just being open, and you just take everything kind of as a learning environment, because there's a certain element of things as we go through this journey, you don't know what you don't know. And there's not a right, or like, there's not one franchise that's universally best for everybody. It's got to be each person. And you guys realize that the kind of that personal touch and connection was going to be really important to you. As you now are franchise owners, and I know it's technically just been a couple months, has anything changed? Or like, hey, they were awesome until the ink dried, and then now they suck and they're nowhere to be found, because you guys are kind of in that early real estate site selection. How's the support been now that you are a franchise owner?
They are so supportive and so educational. We have the opportunity to meet every other week with office hours or some sort of group education experience to just talk about best practices. And they are very involved. We've got their cell numbers. They're like, call or text anytime you need anything. Very welcoming. Never feel like this was just some sale and now they've disappeared off the face of the earth. No way. They're in it. They said, this is our baby. And we're like, yeah, it's going to be our baby too. So we love the amount of support we're getting from them. Finding real estate had been a little bit of a challenge, but we knew we had that expectation set for us that everybody kind of struggles in the real estate realm, and it does take some time. So they also did a very good job at managing expectations before we got into something and had a totally different feel for how it was going to turn out. They told us right away, like, this typically takes several months, but we're here with you every step of the way. Outside of those office hours and those courses, we also have the opportunity. There's an onboarding specialist that meets with us again every 2 weeks and just checks on our progress. Hey, where are you in finding real estate? Where are you in doing all of our courses to get through the operating manual? And they just keep us on task. Here's what you should be doing this week. And that's helpful because it can feel overwhelming. Like, what should we be doing right now? And they're telling us what we should be doing. So I love it.
Good. Nice. Jon, how's it been for you?
Well, I believe that they've actually exceeded my expectations. Not that I set them low, but they've just done a great job. Their involvement is, they're leading almost everything. So meaning the gold rings, the founders. And like Angela mentioned, they are holding master classes and office hours and offering, direct contact, and are very accepting of feedback and actually promote giving them feedback. And this is somewhat of an emerging brand, so they seem very comfortable with absorbing new ideas and analyzing them from the outside, ideas from franchisees, and then implementing them if they're good ideas. I can tell from meeting other franchisees who have then chipped in something from their own expertise to the whole system. I can tell that is being done because that Rob and Missy are working with everybody. They're not working from above everybody and just supervising. They kind of put off the one of the team feel, which I think makes all the franchisees feel comfortable and willing to speak up and say, like, maybe there's a better way of doing this, or maybe there's something we can add, and they're going to listen. And that means a lot to us.
It's, again, when it's done properly, it really should feel like that partnership. And again, kind of why you guys had that comfort zone, as you mentioned, like at the airport, ready to fly back. You're like, okay, this is the place, and feels kind of, I'm guessing, kind of feels like, hey, that's your extended family with this, right? Speaking of family, we also have 2 kids. How are they feeling about mom and dad being franchise owners? Is it sunk in? Is it changed? We have them all like merched up with stuff when they're walking around. How's that going?
They are excited for us. Like I said, the first time they saw the disappointment when the first didn't work out, and then they saw us keep pursuing, and then successfully purchase a franchise. So they think that's cool, although they won't ever say mom and dad are cool. I know that's what they think. So the 16-year-old, she's told her friends about it. So that's how it translates into mom and dad are cool. The 10-year-old wants to work in the studio, and she wants to know how old she needs to be before she can work in a studio. So, yeah, exactly.
10 is the correct answer. Yes.
Yeah.
There will be something for her to do. So yeah. So they're not gonna say whether we're cool, but if they start talking about us to our friends in a moderately positive thing, then you go for the win at that point. But I'm gonna tell you, it's cool to see, like, the kid aspect of it. It's something, even when I first started this business 12 years ago, I had no clue what the impact was going to be on my kid, or just how it kind of rewires their brains. Your girls can see mom and dad have been well-educated, super successful, doing all of these things, and there's no reason they can't do that. But you're now showing they can create their own path, and that's a powerful thing. And at the very least, make them wear the Vital Stretch T-shirts to school every day next year. And so, you get us a new member, and you get we'll feed you tonight is how that'll work. So whatever we got to do to make it work. So I know you guys are just busy in general and with life, and now adding this on top. So I thank you guys so much for kind of joining us today. I want to kind of throw one question at you both, because you guys were sitting there 6-8 months ago, right? However it was, should we do a franchise? Should we look at this? Maybe what's a piece of advice for somebody that's out there listening right now? It's like, geez, can I do this or not? What suggestion or piece of advice might you give someone?
I would definitely say that if we can do it, anybody can do it, as long as they are willing to follow a protocol. For me, that was like a no-brainer. I follow protocols all the time. So I'm like, give me a playbook. I can do this. So I think as long as they're willing to follow the protocol that the company has set forth and not try to go rogue, that they can be successful. There will be obstacles, but as long as they persevere, they will come out a winner. I think so far the experience has been amazing. I look forward to the day when I can step out of working the 40-hour work week and spend more time with my family. And if that is the autonomy that other people are looking for, this is a really good path forward.
Love it. Jon, what do you got?
I guess my advice to a potential person investigating franchising would be that to be patient, keep your eyes and ears and your mind, most of all, open. We did start with one business in mind. The one that Angela brought to me, and it didn't work out. Someone bought the territories in our region, soon after we got involved. So we didn't. That's when we reached out to you. Okay, well, that one is a no-go. We don't know where else to look. We don't even know. We know some industries, but we didn't have a specific one in mind. So my advice would be contact someone like you, Tim. Get someone who knows this industry, the franchising industry, so they can put things in front of you. We never would have thought of the Vital Stretch or Assistant Stretch as a business we'd want to get into. We didn't really know that, it was even a thing. So my advice is find someone that can present different businesses to you. And then look at them all. Take what you can. You can learn something from each one you look at, even if you know right away, that's not for me. That is education for you. You know what you don't want now. And you're starting to shrink that pool. And then once you zero in on something, talk a lot about it with the people you know. I think just verbalizing it will at least make me think about it. Yeah. And then just be patient, because sometimes things do take a while. And, we start feeling bad in regards to you, Tim. We're like, we have been working with Tim for a number of months.
Yeah.
So we're starting to feel bad here. But it did work out. And so we just needed to be more patient and, tamp down that little bit of anxiety. We put 9 months into looking and we don't even know where we're going to go yet. And it got a little bit scary, but we just stuck with you. And, you were very comforting. Each time we'd speak, like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to find something, you didn't have a time limit on this. So, be patient, use your resources, and keep an open mind.
Yeah, no, and I love that. The openness is, and just kind of think of like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to learn something new, right? There's no way that's no way it's going to kill us. And again, as you guys have did such an amazing job with this, eventually you do, even though Angela rolled her eyes at me like 9 months ago, you will eventually not have to make a decision. It will be just crystal clear. So, guys, I just seriously can't thank you enough. It's been an absolute joy to have been able to be on this journey with you guys. You are absolutely positively required to let me know when grand opening is, so we can help celebrate that around the wonderful Louisville area. And we definitely have a couple friends in that market that will bully into coming in there for you guys. So, but thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you all of the best as owners of the Vital Stretch.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, thanks again for tuning into the Franchising 101 podcast brought to you by Fran Coach. I hope these episodes continue to educate you on the amazing possibilities that can be achieved through franchise ownership. In between podcast episodes, if you still want to learn more about franchising and the ways in which Fran Coach can help, there are a few places for you to check out. First, tune in to the Franchising 360 show. It is the only nationally syndicated television show about franchising hosted by me and Danielle Wright. Our TV show airs every Friday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Biz TV. Next, check out the Fran Coach YouTube channel, which is Fran Coach for You. You can find tons of franchise-specific content there. Plus, you can catch past episodes of the Franchising 360 show. If you like to read, we encourage you to check out our book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. You'll never guess what it's about. And finally, when you're ready to take that first personalized step and explore the franchise industry further, please reach out to our amazing team at Fran Coach. You can click the QR code or find us at francoach.net. There is never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Are you one of those media strategy people clicking through slides, scrolling spreadsheets? Yes? Good. This is for you. Because on Spotify, there's an audience that's different, locked in, loyal, invested. They're called fans. Fans don't just listen to music, they feel seen by it, like it belongs to them. So when your brand shows up on Spotify, that's who you're talking to. And you're right next to artists like me, Lizzo. So, are you ready to talk to fans? Spotify advertising. You're among fans.